Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. This is Fishing Vlog number 60, and today's theme is, what am I going to do with all these fry? I mean, they're growing up really nicely, but I'm running out of space, and I do need to, I think, think how I'm going to house them, and some of the fish that I might not be breeding anymore, stuff like that. It was kind of funny because I ran across a video on Riley's channel. He has a channel called Fish Keeping Jamaica. Definitely go check him out. I'll leave a link below. He has a wonderful channel and covers lots and lots of fish keeping topics. And he's having a similar problem because some fish, first off, take forever to grow and don't necessarily get you enough money based on the length of time and all that sort of stuff. And he is in the process of deciding what he's going to breed because he wants to, sell his fish and at least fund what it costs to keep this hobby going. In my case, a lot of the fish I breed go to clients, and I don't really necessarily sell them to stores because, first off, a lot of stores in my neighborhood they just don't buy them. There's one I think that might. But that's not really very cost effective, and I certainly don't want to go advertising in one of the local online sites that will sell you can sell pretty much anything, because then you have to have people come to your house, and that opens a whole other bunch of problems based on COVID, and anyway, I don't want to get into that because it's just too much time to do very little. So what I'm going to do here is I may switch some of the breeding over a little bit, and this mostly has to do with the 7-foot tank. I mean, these rainbows are growing up really nicely, but they're going to need a lot of space soon, and that means the 7-foot tank. I mean, it's big enough. I'm also having a little bit of trouble with the guppies in there with the angels. I don't think the angels are playing nice, so I may redo how I'm keeping the guppies as well. I think they're going to take them out of there and put them in in more tanks, spread them out, but they won't be in a large space, but they'll have, because they're spread out, they should be doing quite well. We'll get to that in a few minutes. The other thing is, I'm not actually trying to breed Grabensis. I had a nice spawn, and I was happy with that, and I was going to put them up in an aquarium, but like I said, I'm running out of space again. I think the female's back here with another clutch of eggs or fry. I mean, they're amazing parents. I mean, it's doing really well. The funny thing is one of the lids fell down in the tank. Here it is here. It was one of the ones I was just leaving there to see how much I can warp acrylic, and it provided a little bit of a barrier. So another pair set up shop in the back corner there, and they actually now have, you can see them starting to come out now, a fairly large and well-aged batch of fry. I don't really have much use for Grabensis. I mean, they're lovely fish, don't get me wrong. I mean, and they're not really aggressive, so I will find homes for it, but I don't need that many of them. And the angels keep breeding. This particular batch I think they're a little lazy with, so a lot of them have fungused, but I haven't separated a second batch because I still haven't actually found room for the first batch, so that will gradually come. But these angels are a very useful fish for clients. Now this is one of the guppy tanks, and this is the one I pruned back quite a bit. As far as plants go, you see it still needs to be done again. I changed the filter media in that gravel filter over to just gravel, and the tank is perfectly fine, healthy. And I've noticed a couple of, I think I mentioned this before, a couple of males that I really like in here. This is a perfect example. He's a lovely fish, and I want to not line breed him or anything, but I do want to set him up with a couple of nice females, probably in this tank, which means I'll probably just pull out other fish and get him to father a bunch of babies, and we'll see how that goes. I mean, there's not just him. I mean, these fish here in general in this tank all look really quite good. I mean, that male has a bit of a thing taken of his tail, but so these fish here are, it's over half what I put in here. The rest of them have all gone to clients, which is the whole point. I mean, these are being raised for other tanks. So the population in this has dropped by at least a third, on the way to a half, and I want to take some of those fish out and redo that tank, give it a lot more space. This is the Java Moss box filter, And it is actually doing really well. I was a little concerned that it might get a little plugged up with detritus, but so far it seems to be managing. I'm going to let it go another couple weeks, and then I'm going to pull the moss out and have a look at it, and then it's going to get its own tank. So we're going to see how it does filtering it when there's no other filter in the aquarium. I still have kind of an inkling that it's going to do reasonably well, especially in like a guppy tank or something along those lines, because there won't be as much detritus. They're fairly clean fish. I don't know if it would do really well in like a pleco tank that's breeding, or a goldfish tank, that sort of thing, but we'll give it a try and see what happens. So if you remember, this is the centerpiece in my paludarium. The Java moss is fine, but what it does, it tends to spread a little bit on the surface and then blocks the light to all the Java moss below it. So I think I'm going to instead switch over to just having Java fern. Because you can see the Java fern leaves are really nice and green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the wire off of that, because by this point the Java fern will be nice and firmly anchored to it. And then I'm going to wire up some more and prune back the Java moss quite severely. I just did a little bit here right now. And I want to change the plant that's going on top. As you can see here, one of the peace lilies that I bought two, and one of them I took and divided up and put into stuff, and it's doing really well, but it also kind of popped off a little baby, and so I took the baby off, and I'm going to plant it in here, and it's going to go up in that paludarium, and I'm going to let it grow. We'll see how it does. It's a small enough plant, and there's a lot of bubbling going on in there right now, so I want to see how it does with a lot of extra water, all that sort of stuff. So this was about 4 days before this, so it's doing fine so far. Obviously you have to be patient with these things. The paludarium is doing quite well. I have neglected doing anything new with it. I wanted to see how initially how the driftwood is all going to do tied to the back like that. It's mounted fine. It's no issues with that at all. I put up this one tiny sprig of Java fern. You can see it has grown at least 4 or 5 folds since I put it in there. Very happy with that, and as you can see, the pothos is doing extremely well as well. So I need to find time and the ambition to get in there and wire up a bunch more Java fern. So that's pretty much it for today. You can see that's where the Java moss box filter is as well. I didn't clean the front of that glass, so I didn't really pan down too far. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Leave comments, let me know what you think. And as always, yeah, just let me know what you think. And I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.